Hi guys, this is Sours Patch Kids, and today we're gonna kind of take control of what Shayla and Miles were doing, and we're gonna also talk about serial killers. And today we are talking about Richard Ramirez. Yay!
AKA the Night Stalker.
Ew, yeah, no, that.
Okay, well, I feel like to get started, we should talk about his childhood.
Oh yeah.
So growing up, Richard claims that he was abused very bad by his dad, and he suffered multiple head injuries, and one even caused him epileptic seizures.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
Basically, he had a lot of childhood trauma that led to his behavior. It's not a good reason, but still.
Yeah.
It's also said that when he was about 12, his cousin started showing him pictures of Vietnamese women because he was in the army that he had tortured and raped and killed.
Trigger warning,
Yeah.
everybody,
Trigger
please. If you're sensitive to any of this, just don't watch. Just don't, please.
there are some details that you may not want to hear, so if you are sensitive towards this, yes, please.
He also
Leave now.
watched his cousin shoot his wife.
Okay, yeah,
So,
Did
a little bit
do
of
we
trauma.
know if the cousin ever did time in prison for any of that?
Probably
That's a good
not.
question. I would assume not.
Because it was during the Vietnam War.
I'm not trying to give him any sympathy because what he did was horrible, but that definitely
Yeah, it probably made him
that-
feel like he could do whatever he wanted.
yeah
Consequences,
that really
and that women were just
Objects.
the way from his cousin he got the fact that it's okay to do that stuff, but from his dad too, being aggressive and
Yeah.
everything, and
he only saw aggressive behavior, and he
Yeah,
probably
he did-
sought out Satanism as an escape or something he could be a part of.
Mhm,
He
like,
probably
kind
felt
of-
misplaced in his own life.
I feel like he kind of used it as an excuse to assault all of the people that he did.
I wouldn't say an excuse, more of a maybe. I feel like he after being abused by his dad his whole childhood, he just wanted to really seek attention.
I would agree with that, and I would agree he probably used it as an escape, or as an excuse, because in Satanism you're kill these people to appease these gods, blah blah blah. So there's probably a lot of that going on.
There are
Probably both
There
sides
are a
of
lot
it.
of killers that are no, I'm killing you because of the sins that you've done. I'm killing's a sin.
Yeah.
That's strange.
It says here that Richard Ramirez was diagnosed with schizophrenia, which I feel like
Yeah, that
really
very much
adds
suits
to him being in Satanism and stuff like that. He also had ADHD.
twins.
Antisocial personality disorder. It says he scored a 31 out of 40 on the PCLR, which I'm pretty sure is just psyche evals. And it deems him clinically psychopathic.
So
So
why?
that's
That would
fun.
make sense.
So wait, I thought people can
He was probably crazy smart.
He did,
maybe.
maybe.
In an evil
So
way, but
why
still,
couldn't
it's
he,
smart. Usually psychopaths.
Why couldn't he
Yeah.
use that the medical illnesses he had
Well,
as
he probably didn't get diagnosed till he was in jail.
Yeah, probably
He
not.
definitely had no therapy whatsoever
I
until he was
feel like
forced to.
Yeah, I feel like mental health isn't as important as it was back then. So nobody really thought that he probably has mental issues that he hasn't dealt
especially
with.
in men.
Oh, yeah.
In men it's not okay. Back then it's not okay. Still now there's still weird men aren't depressed. Men can't have feelings.
the-
I'm what?
Is
No.
that called, a
They
stigma?
probably could have used all that in court to get him
Help.
help instead, but they probably just discovered that later.
It's the same way with the Menendez brothers.
Yeah.
They weren't allowed to be abused because they were boys. Their dad wasn't allowed to sexually abuse them. It's the same thing,
It's so messed up.
But I know it's not the same thing. But he was.
It's in the same range.
He was very messed up.
It's just people not acknowledging men's feelings.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which they still do. But back to Ramirez. Killed a total, well, we know a total of 13 people, but there's assumed to be
A
more.
lot more.
Yeah, there has
And
to
with
be
that,
more.
He like sexually assaulted them, and some of them who he didn't
Tortured.
kill, he just tortured and again assaulted.
The way he found out that he was like being accused, not really accused, but that he was like
Gonna be taken to jail.
a head suspect of the investigation is he just walked into a convenience store, like a gas station, and saw his face on a newspaper, and he literally like sprinted away. He ran away, but people had time to like call him and like report it. So his arrest consisted of, I'm pretty sure it was 7 cop cars and a helicopter, but bystanders got to him before they got to arrest him. So they literally, like, these people just came up and started like beating the crap out of him.
Which I think is very ironic for the amount of people that he also beat up and tortured.
Yeah.
That he kind of, like, the reign of his terror ended that way. And he was caught by civilians. Like,
Yeah,
normal
like,
people that he'd usually kill on a
You
daily
get what
basis.
you give. You know,
Mhm.
you get what you give.
Full circle.
And he killed all those people and assaulted all those people in a span of like 2 years, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It was like 85 and 86, or 84 and 85.
I don't.
Or 90.
I thought it was in the 90s.
Okay, 90s, but it was only like a span of 2 years.
Oh no, you were right. 84 and 85.
Okay.
Oh, I think I read that it was all in 1 year.
It was 2. It was
Okay.
84 and 85.
Okay,
I remember
gotcha.
reading 2 now.
His first known murder was early as April 1984. But it wasn't connected to Ramirez.
Was it the little girl?
Hold on.
His first murder was a 79-year-old woman who was a widow who he
Yeah, I saw that.
assaulted and killed. But there was a little 9-year-old girl who he's thought to be involved with, but it's never been proven.
Yeah, his DNA was at the crime scene.
He didn't even have an MO. Like, you know, like how serial killers use, like Jeffrey Dahmer, like, he did the same thing with every guy, like, drugged them, everything, but, like, used the same weapons and everything. But he used, like, a lot of different things, like a
he just killed for
handgun, knives, machete, a tire iron,
He killed for
claw
Satan.
hammer.
Yeah. He didn't kill. I feel like he didn't kill for his own, like, personal. Like, a lot of killers are, like, OCD. And so everything has to be done, like, a certain way, or they have to do it in a certain way for it to, like, count to them.
Mhm.
But he's probably just, like, a true psychopath who just wanted to kill.
He stomped at least one of his victims to death in her sleep.
That makes sense for
Stomp.
how much we know about him.
Stomped, though, like you're literally just stomping on her head.
Yeah, it was probably. That's terrifying. I can't even
That
like
would be so-
picture that.
Oh my God. That would be terrifying and painful.
And then he tortured another victim by shocking her with live electric cords. And he also enjoyed frequently degrading and humiliating his victims, especially those who survived his attacks or whom he explicitly decided not to kill, by forcing them to profess that they loved Satan,
Oh, I saw that.
or telling them to swear on Satan if they were no more valuables left in their home and had been broken into and burglarized.
It says that Ramirez would carve pentagrams into his victims.
Oh!
Yeah. I don't even know what to think about that.
Oh, yeah, here
How
it
can you
is.
be that evil is my question.
It says on April 10th,
I don't even
1984,
know.
Ramirez murdered May Lang. I'm sorry if I say her name wrong. A 9-year-old Chinese American girl in the basement of his apartment building in the Tenderloin district of San Francisco. She was the little girl was with her 8-year-old brother looking for a lost $1 bill. When
Oh.
Ramirez approached this girl and told her to follow him into the basement to find it. Once they were in the basement, Ramirez beat, strangled, and sexually abused before stabbing her to death with a switchblade, hanging her partially nude body from a pipe by her blouse.
Once again, trigger warning. That is the things that the human race can do scares me sometimes.
I know, it makes
How
me.
can you be that cruel?
It makes me
Like, it's
so
sickening.
like. It literally gives me no, like, what has happened in this world, like, gives me no hope for humanity, like, in
Right.
our future.
Right.
Getting tortured is literally my worst fear. I've always said that. That would be like the worst possible way to die.
That was
Mhm.
literally a 9-year-old girl. Like,
Yeah.
a
Just a
9-year-old
baby.
girl with her 8-year-old brother. They were looking for $1. That is literally so sad.
I just did not want to know that at all.
I'm sorry.
No.
What makes all of his crimes even worse is that it says on this website, while he was alive, the Night Stalker never expressed any remorse for any of his crimes. And it says that he often took pleasure in his crimes, and that scares me even more. That happened.
I know, like,
That
this.
he felt that way.
This is another one. On June 28, 1984, 79-year-old Jenny Vinkow was found murdered in her apartment. She had been stabbed repeatedly in the head, neck, and chest while asleep in her bed, and her throat slashed so deeply that she was nearly decapitated. Ramirez's fingerprints was found on a mesh screen he removed to gain access through an open window. This is his second known murder. Established his pattern of breaking into homes, committing particularly vicious murders, and frequently burglarizing his victims either before or after killing them, which was mainly to support his cocaine addiction and pay his rent.
Yeah, there's this picture of him where it shows how cocaine like rotted his teeth. And it was very, very disturbing.
And then we have a 22-year-old Maria Hernandez outside her home, shooting her in the face. After she pulled into her garage, she survived when the bullet ricocheted off the keys she held in her hands. What?
That
I
is
survived completely.
Oh, as she lifted them to protect herself. Hernandez played dead until Ramirez left the scene.
that is very
Her
scary.
roommate
Oh my god, she is so lucky.
Her roommate heard the gunshot and ducked behind the counter when she saw Ramirez enter the kitchen. And when she raised her head to get a look at what had happened, he shot her in the forehead,
No.
killing her instantly.
So the Maria Hernandez survived and her friend didn't.
Yeah, Maria Hernandez survived because the gun ricocheted off keys when she was trying to coming up.
That is
But
insane. And that is a miracle. And
That is a miracle for her.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, her poor roommate.
within an hour of that incident, Ramirez pulled 30-year-old Veronica out of her car, shot her twice, and fled.
was this like his murder spree? Because I read that he had a murder spree.
Yeah, this was all in one night.
That is.
So he thought he killed 3 people, but it was just 2. The 2 murders and attempted third in a single day attracted extensive coverage from news media. Described as curly-haired with bulging eyes and wide-spaced rotting teeth.
From the cocaine.
Yeah. He was first named the Walk-In Killer and the Valley Intruder. He was eventually arrested that one night that he got beat up by the civilians and was convicted of 13 counts of murder, 5 attempted murders, 11 sexual assaults, and 14 burglaries.
He later died in 2013 of cancer.
Is that like
Well deserved,
B-cell lymphoma or something? Is that what it's called?
I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for watching. We'll be doing these every week, so
Yeah.
we'll be doing the Menendez brothers next week. We'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
See ya.